Hey everybody, we've got a pretty interesting video planned for you for today. A couple things. Obviously, I'm going to be trying out Mark Bell's Slingshot. The interesting thing is I've never used this before for like an actual training session. So part of this is to kind of get my first impressions down on what I think of a Slingshot, how it feels, what my initial thoughts are on its efficacy for anybody, really, a raw lifter or a gear lifter or gun thrower. And then the other interesting thing is going to be that since I've never done this before for an actual workout, I don't have any prior working weights to go off of. So hopefully this will help some of you guys who struggle as far as how do you know where to start on a new exercise. Hopefully this will kind of shed some light on that for you. As far as where I've gone so far, when I started out, I did a general warm-up. I actually just finished squatting, which was the first video for today. So I did my squats, then did a general warm-up for bench. Started with the bar and worked up. At 3:15, I put on the Slingshot just to try it out, start getting the feel for it, even with some lighter weights. That went really well, a lot of pop, everything feels tight, it feels strong, so I took a little bit bigger jump than I normally would. I would normally go to 4 or 5, do a single or double, something like that. I just went ahead to 445 so we can get started. I'm predicting that this will be my first work set. The protocol for today calls for a triple and a 9. So if this is a 7 or so, that's within the working range. So we'll kind of see where it starts out. And the same thing we normally do is adjust after we start getting the ball rolling. It'll be a little different today, like I said, since I don't have anything to shoot for, no target weights or anything like that. It'll all be based completely on feel rather than target experience. So hopefully there's something for everybody to learn on that. This first set here is 445. We're going to run a triple. Go ahead and get started on that. So far, so good. It's interesting. I like it. It does give you some pop off the chest. It's not a tremendous amount of pop, which I think probably makes it better for a raw lifter. I mean, that's my gut instinct on it. The weights move pretty quickly. That was right at 7 RPE. So we're going to move up to 475. That's a 30-pound jump. Right about 5%, give or take, probably. So 475 would be a nice comfortable jump. It should put me somewhere around the 8 RPE, ideally, anyway. And that'll give me a good frame of reference on where to go for my last set, or my third set, rather. The setup, using the Slingshot, to me it feels a lot like a shirt bench would feel, and that there's some difficulty getting your shoulders underneath you, getting your shoulder blades together. But that's the intent of this, because it's pulling your arms together, and that's what gives you the pop off the bottom. So you'll see that I have to be a little more deliberate in my setup in order to get all my positioning right. So far, so good. Like I said, going up to 475 for this next triple. set went pretty good as well. It was right about what I predicted. So right about an 8 RPE. So I want to play it a little bit, just a tiny bit conservative. So instead of taking a 30-pound jump, like I did between my first and second sets, I'll take a 25-pound jump. This would be 500 even. So go for 500 pounds. This would be a triple at a 9. Hopefully, we're just gonna move fast enough to be a 9. So far, so good. I mean, I can definitely feel the weight in my hands. It doesn't feel like reverse stance at all, really. It feels similar to a bench shirt, but it's not hard to manage like a bench shirt. It's only, I feel a little bit of discomfort around my elbows, but it's not terrible at all. Like wearing a belt is probably worse. As you can see, I'm loading my own weights fine, and everything like that, so comfort's really not an issue. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to start getting my mind right and approach this 500-pound curve. That 500 for triple that ran at about an 8.5 RPE. So the objective of this slot is actually to overload, just to feel a super maximal weight in my hand. And while I can bench in this range, I can't bench it for a triple. So that's a prolonged exposure to this weight. So this is really fulfilling that sort of training objective. Given that training objective, since the last triple was at a 8.5, and I wanted to go to a 9, all things considered, I went ahead and moved it up another 15 pounds. And that's just part of the dialing process that since I've never done this before, I've really got no benchmark to shoot for. So I'm finding it. 500 triple, like I said, we ran about 8.5, so given the training objective for today, we bumped it up. That's really all there is to it. I got some diagnostic equipment here that helps me narrow down my weight selection, but really it all boils down to the same thing. You've got to get good at understanding what your body needs and what the training objective is, and how to get from where you are to where the training objective needs to be. So it's just a matter of getting good at that process. So anyway, long story short, we've got 515 loaded up on the bar here, and we're going to get this one right for a triple. This one will probably run right about a 9. I'm going to do my best to take it with me. So here we go. Alright, ended up with a little bit of camera difficulties there at the end. The last one that you saw was my 515 triple. That came through just a tiny bit heavy. It was right on the line of a 9 or 9.5. So overall it went well though. And since that set started to show just the smallest amount of fatigue, I made a little bit larger drop on my drop set. I went down to 475, and I made 475 for a triple, but that one was showing a little bit more fatigue, so I cut it there. In total, I had 5 sets. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for an exercise slot like that. We ended up cutting it after the 5th set there. I had enough fatigue, and so we just stopped it right there. My overall impressions of the Slingshot, I really liked it. I think it's going to be good for anybody who needs that sort of overload stimulus. It turned out I got about 50 pounds out of it. Uh, so I mean that's not insignificant. That's something that's an appreciable amount of weight, especially for a raw lifter to be able to handle 15 pounds more than your raw max. That's probably for most people that's right about where you want to be in terms of an overload stimulus. So if you're running an analysis of your training and you find out that you need like an overload to handle super maximal weights, um, I I probably like the slingshot better than reverse bands because you still feel the full load in your hand. You know, the full load is in your hand, whereas a reverse band actually pulls some of that load out. So I think just from a nervous system aspect, it's probably going to be a little more effective. Now, granted, after one workout, I can't really tell yet. So as far as my review of the slingshot, from what I can tell from one workout, I like it. And time will tell at the end of the cycle whether it makes a positive impact on my training or not. I'll be sure to report back. But for now, I'm thinking if you need overload stimulus, that's probably not a bad route to go. I was pretty happy with the way the slingshot went with my performance on the bench today. That was pretty good. Cut it at the right time. So now I'm going to move on to some stiff leg deadlifts, finish up this workout. So thanks for watching, and remember reactivetrainingsystems.com. Thanks.